Hello, chums. Welcome back to our Shackleton Expanse campaign for Star Trek Adventures. I'm back after being sick last week. I would have lasted about 5 minutes with my voice. It's still a bit shot, but we're gonna vibe it out. It's gonna be okay. I'm very, very excited to get back into the Shackleton Expanse and onto Narendra Station, where we can away from the weird dimension that we found ourselves in last time. It's gonna be okay. Let's go around and we'll chat with people, see how they're doing. Anita, how you doing?
Better. I had a stressful couple weeks. We had some misfortunes, but we're better, and I'm excited to play Star Trek today.
Awesome. Good. And Tom, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little tired. I got very wet today in work because they just hammered down for most of the day. But apart from that, yeah, not too bad.
We're doing phrasing still.
Cool. I mean, if you want.
Hammered down. Don't know what it was.
Hammered down. Yeah. Wet all day. Yep.
All day.
All day.
Susie, how are you?
Shit, but it's fine. I'm glad to be here. My back hurts, so I'm just going to be here in the corner crying, and if I just disappear randomly, know that I have laid down on the floor and wish for a swift death.
All right. I won't keep us here too long this week, but we do have some stuff to get done. Because you have a certain blood feud that you want to try and deal with.
Perfect energy for today. I just want to stab someone.
Cool. Because that's exactly how your log reads. It doesn't. Like the opposite. Yeah, you do have the log this week. But before we start off, I need to talk about the competition. We're playing Star Trek Adventures on Roll20, and we have the core book as a module on Roll20, which you can win. We're giving away copies. We're giving away codes. If you want a chance to win one of those codes, enter !Roll20 in the chat whilst Tom rearranges his camera, and we'll give away a couple of those codes today. We'll give one away. We'll kind of draw a name from a hat about midway through the session and about towards the end of the session. So stick around if you want a chance to win one of those goody things. And I think if you've got a pro account as well, you can share it with your players, which I tried to do with this, and I think I did it, but I'm not sure. But we have the compendium. At least I have the compendium anyway. Awesome. All right. Taking us in to episode 20. We were just confirming that in the green room before we started. That's crazy. Been doing this for a long while now. It's a self-titled episode. This is not one from your campaign book. This is one that I've done for the characters that we've got. Because people who've played with me here, they know that sooner or later I get very character-centric and start going off the rails, and it's okay. You're allowed to do that as well. Make the Shackleton Expanse your own. That's the important thing. Susie, save me from myself. Give us Chief Burrell's personal log in how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Okay. Chief Burrell's personal log, stardate 48986.3. With all that's happened in the last few months, the thing that's continued to play on my mind is the attempt on my life. The dishonor, the trickery, the weight that blood feud still carries. But now, Eka has uncovered some more to this conspiracy. House Ortagh's actions could jeopardize the operations of both Starfleet and the Klingon Empire throughout the Expanse. We need to figure out a plan to resolve things that doesn't necessarily meet with violence. While things are quiet here on the station for now, it gives us a chance to come up with that plan and maybe act on it if the opportunity arises and some of Eka's leads prove fruitful.
So, Burrell, you find yourself on a fairly calm day in ops on the top deck of the station. And you find yourself daydreaming of this, thinking about this log, being preoccupied with this blood feud, until Chief Tien snaps you out of it by kind of hopping down a few steps, almost jumping towards you, as she is kind of quite energetic, quite excitable. and she just kind of leans on your console and asks you, "Right, Chief?"
Beryl looks at like she's probably leaning near a button. She's like,
Look,
right,
if we're going to be leaning on buttons and like, you know, destroying things, we have no point being in space. Okay, plenty of safety features on here. I can sit on this thing. I can lean on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll prove it. And she sits down on the console and like nothing happens.
Can I help you?
You just looked a bit preoccupied, that's all.
Oh, well, you know, it's a quiet day, so I'm a little, I don't know, thinking about stuff.
What stuff?
Then Beryl gives her like that look back.
Look, I'm bored too. And when you don't have 26 cousins around you constantly, you kind of want to know what's going on. A little bit of gossip occasionally. Really nice for people. Real nice for people.
Yeah, but the thing with gossip is it spreads. It's just family stuff, don't worry. It's just family stuff. What?
Family stuff. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fine. I'm good. But look.
What if I told you? No, what if I told you it's for your own safety? I don't tell you.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. Haven't you got like an ensign to go bother or, you know?
Haven't you got a pad to read?
Yeah, I do. She just picks up a random one. There's nothing on it. Wow, this is so interesting.
Yeah, and she laughs like, look, if it's genuine-ish, like, safety and, like, all that kind of stuff, you know, if something's really bothering you, you can always talk to the Admiral. Mm-hmm. She's, like, the most approachable Admiral I've, like, ever worked anywhere near, let alone for.
Yeah. I do need to talk to her.
She's got that stern, you know, thing, but then you actually sit down and talk to her, she's actually really nice.
Yeah. Really bad taste in blood wine, though.
Yeah. Can't win them all. She kind of wanders off.
And Beryl sort of like chuckles to herself. But she does think on that a little bit, that she needs to talk to the Admiral. So she makes sure that there's nothing immediately, you know, she clears anything that she has to do in the immediate sort of like, you know, time frame, anything that's urgent, and she wanders off.
Well, I mean, you're an ops officer on like effectively the bridge.
Yeah, it's someone else's problem.
Someone else literally just walks up to your console as soon as you walk away from it. Like that's how Starfleet works, right?
Yeah. Delegation. I just flick it off to someone else's desk. All right, and she wanders off to the Admiral's office.
Yeah. All right. Did we have a door chime? Did we have a door chime? We do have a door chime. Come in.
And
yeah, those doors swish open, and yeah, you step through into the Admiral's office, and she's got a few pads around her, her little like Starfleet laptop type thing on the desk. But she looks up at you, Chief.
Is this bad time?
No.
I was hoping I could talk to you about something.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And she sits down.
She offers a seat.
Yeah.
How are you
Beryl
faring?
sits down before she's offered. She's feeling antsy.
Yeah. I read your debrief on the Candidate 3 incident. How are you holding up?
I'm doing fine, really, more than anything. That's happened, obviously, and you know, there's that to unpack. But the thing that's bothering me at the minute, and she's kind of a little bit like a little weird for Beryl. She's not usually this sort of like evasive. You know about the feud between my family and the Ortaghs, right?
I'm aware, and I try and be as sensitive to all that kind of stuff as possible by not really digging into that side of things. I'll leave that more to the general.
Well, I have been trying to do my best to not get involved, dragged into any of the games that the Ortaghs want to play, but I've started to uncover some evidence which is concerning. and it concerns both the Federation and the Empire.
Okay.
Ambassador Yang conspired, which is a strong word, but she conspired with the Orions to craft a poison or a toxin specifically to kill me or anyone of my bloodline.
And this happened where? When?
This, you remember the day she arrived on the station?
Hmm.
And we had the bleeding ceremony with the knife, and I refused to participate. The knife was coated. And then later on that day in Ekka's bar, one of the Ortagh lesser members tried to slip something in my drink at Ekka's.
Okay. We have to figure out how we navigate this. Seeing as that you were a Starfleet officer at the time, but you are obviously of Klingon heritage, and you must be aware, at least from some of General Kargan's filings and reports, that we've had potentially over 100 challenges, fights, even a dozen Klingon deaths here on the station due to some similar friction. I've always taken a stance that it's a Klingon matter because of the joint operation of the station that we have. If you want, we can go through some official disciplinary channels, but we're effectively talking about ambassador to ambassador negotiation. I don't know what action the Federation can take. If this was a Federation outpost in its entirety, or a Federation station, we could expel the ambassador. But we're walking on Klingon territory, Klingon turf too, in a way. That's the complication.
This is why I wanted to come speak to you about it, because while I am with Starfleet, I am of Kronos, and my honor does need to be defended in this matter. But I am dedicated to Starfleet. I want to do what's best by Starfleet and the Federation. I'm serious about stepping up and being that person that you think I could be. And I don't think challenging the ambassador and killing her on the station would really live up to those Starfleet principles.
Looks like we're making an impression.
And she looks away and smiles a little bit.
You said that she was conspiring with the Orions?
Mm-hmm.
Have you dug into that at all? Have you got any more information about that?
Only information about the poisons that was specifically made for me. But maybe I can find further things. If she's done it for this, what else has she done it for?
Exactly. If you can uncover more about her involvement with the Orions, maybe we have something that we can take to the Klingons. To the General first, perhaps even the High Council. From what I understand, because we're on a part Klingon station and everything like that, you're going to have to take this all the way up to the High Council to get any kind of change affected here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want my help, I will help from a Starfleet perspective. But I don't have any authority over the appointment of the ambassador or her presence here.
Understood.
if you need more assistance from the Klingon side, I would cautiously advise talking to General Corrigan. I believe he has a good relationship with the ambassador, but I don't think they're... What's that called when they... You know what, never mind. Sorry.
All right. I'll see what I can find, more evidence, and then get back to you on that one.
All right.
Thanks, Admiral.
No problem.
Then she'll head out.
Something. And we move now to Ekka's place, where an old contact of yours, an old friend, a friend with a bit of involvement in a certain branch of Starfleet Intelligence, is coming back aboard the station. Ekka, you know Natalie Sigmund, Lieutenant Commander Natalie Sigmund, as a Starfleet security officer that got then transferred to the Sciences Division. She's a good medic, and she does good work out here in the Expanse as well. And her service record definitely confirms that she was transferred to Sciences under the medical department. Mm-hmm. But you know her as a Starfleet Intelligence operative. A Martian woman, so she stands a bit taller and leaner than your average human, as is typical coming from Mars. And she's got very kind of like nicely kind of curled blonde hair that's done up in kind of a loose spun at the back, but kind of tight up against the sides of her temples, and she kind of bounces into Ekka's place, and she looks about, and where does she see you?
I think Ekka is one of the rare times that they're behind the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are just sort of having a small conversation with to Doc about inventory, and then sort of looks up, sees Natalie, and smiles broadly.
Natalie like waves and extends a hand up into the air, and then kind of bounds over to you. Her like her kind of the Starfleet like hard duffel bag like on her back slams down on the floor. She gets up on a bar stool, and she greets you, Ekka.
Nat, you look good in blue.
Thanks. And you look good behind a bar for once.
Excuse me, I have run this business for a lot longer than you've been around.
Sure. So you've graduated past the bar then, I guess.
There is a legal joke in there somewhere about passing the bar.
I'm trying.
I wasn't the lawyer. That was one of my other lives.
Yeah, there's always another life with another something, isn't there?
Eh.
It's probably maybe the 20-something thing you've been. But you've only had about 9 lives, right? 8, 9.
8.
Mm-hmm. And she gives you that like knowing look of like, bullshitter knows a bullshitter kind of thing.
Well, what brings you to the station?
Medical stuff. I'm out on some and Sam has genuinely forgotten the word, but like when you go out and do medical stuff for people, or like on the frontier, you might visit a colony.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a Doctors Without Borders deal.
Exactly, yeah. There's a thing for it, isn't there? Just can't remember what it's called.
The only thing that I can think of is deep digging into the religious trauma. It's like it sounds like a mission to me, but let's move on from that.
Yeah. We'll call it outreach, medical like outreach.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I just got back from a place called, and I want to name drop this because it's so fun. Actually, within the canon of the campaign and the setting. Oh, I need the places, known systems. So I just got back from what is actually a Starfleet colony now, called Finally. It's just a few years inside the Expanse. So a Starfleet vessel, Miranda class vessel, crash landed, limped to the planet back in the beginning of the century almost. Landed. They live on the shores of a lake called Here's Fine. And yeah, the Starfleet Corps of Engineers has been out there to just kind of help them expand a little bit, give them that kind of stuff. So I've been on a medical expedition.
Oh. And just medicine is what you were looking for?
Yeah,
I mean, you're a person of many talents, so.
I am. And how are you faring up?
Well, I just about got arrested, but I managed to get exonerated from the charges.
What are they trying to pin on you this time? What?
This time. Come on now. Be a little bit more generous than that. A misunderstanding. They tried to say that I was dealing Theragun on the station, but you know I run a reputable business.
Well, from what I've heard, there is a lot of Theragun on the station, so...
There is. Not from me.
No, not from you.
In fact, I think you might be able to help me with something.
Mm-hmm.
From a medical standpoint, of course.
Sure.
Come into my office.
And she kind
I
of
think I'm...
starts to wander around, like the bar, I guess?
Yeah. We'll just go back into like, the back room where Ekka's
I think
office
she,
is.
like, bumps into Tadok as well. She's just like, oh, hey, Tadok, I'll have a root beer, thanks. Just wanders back with you.
And then I think I'm gonna get Nat up to speed with everything that's happened so far.
Yeah.
Blood feuds, Orions, trying to pin illegal activities on me. See, the blood feuds, I can... I don't like them enough, but it's when, you know, my business gets put at risk. You know how hard I worked to build this place.
Absolutely. There's definitely a connection there, I think. That you've been looking into the blood feud. The Orions have been messing with you. Looks like you got a bit too...
The Orions have also been...
Looks like you got a bit too close.
That's what it feels like.
And this friend of yours, Baral, like, she sounds like she's been through it too.
Yeah. She's tough, though.
Nice.
Honestly, I think she might be a good candidate for your other line of work.
Yeah, probably. Unless the Klingon security services snatch her up first. And then she goes dark. Those guys do not mess around. The fact that you don't know about a Klingon, like, intelligence service speaks volumes.
Yeah.
They do not mess around.
They're scary.
Look, I think I've got an idea. But you're going to have to do something for me.
I figured that there'd be a price.
bit of an open secret on the station here about all these artifacts and stuff going around and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of that got put under a lock and key from what I hear.
Not a very hard-locking key. If what the Admiral's up to is anything to go by.
That was the Tellarite fellow.
Yeah, the Admiral. I very much know him. Or know of him, at least. Different branch of the intelligence. Families?
Never had the pleasure myself. I hear about it from, actually a doctor on the station. She's very chatty.
Very. Yeah. We're all definitely one intelligence community, but we don't all necessarily see things exactly the same. So I reckon we can get something together, maybe, where we can maybe get some kind of confrontation together between Yang and these Orions. I reckon I can lure her in.
Meeting?
Kinda, yeah. But you're gonna have to do something for me, like I said.
I figured.
Yeah, I need a job from you. I need you to figure out what the Romulans know about these artifacts.
What the Romulans know about the artifacts.
Oh yeah, all Romulans, big players in this sector. Not Federation space.
I'm just a merchant. How do you expect me to do that?
Sell them navigational data to the next stash of artifacts. That's exactly up your street.
I suppose.
And it's not like I didn't see your ship sat in the docking bay.
Yeah. She's got to get some work done on her, though.
Little non-Federation freighter, bouncing around the systems. Needs a little bit of work. A lot of character on the hull. Perfect cover.
Well, the gift targ is definitely something.
Like, I can work it with you, I can help. But we're going to need a half-decent pilot. And I think your buddy Burrell as well. Seeing as, you know, this is all about her, essentially.
I think I know a couple people who would probably be due for, maybe a few days off.
Great. I'll see you on the gift targ in a couple of days.
Sounds good.
All right. And then Tadok finally arrives
Seeing
with
you,
that root beer. Yeah, good to see you too. And then she wanders out with the root beer. So in the intervening time, you guys are free to get together, chat, plot.
I think I do the sort of little button on the console. Eka to Burrell.
Burrell here.
Don't you have a couple days off coming up?
Yes. Why?
We've got some work to do.
Understood.
I think I'd do this similar cryptic message to Harvey.
I think I come down to Eka's after after my shift's done or whatever.
Like, so I'm picturing, you know, those after hours scenes in Quarks where it's like all dark and it's like by the staircase and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm picturing. You guys like coming out the shadows.
In our civvies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Burrell's going to be sat on the steps because she's cool. So, this vacation we're taking,
I've got a friend who needs some work done, and as payment, we get a little bit closer to our goals.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to lie, it's probably going to be very dangerous.
Burl smiles.
And anything Starfleet cannot be attached to this.
Understood.
That's why this has to happen on your off time.
Mm-hmm. I spoke to the Admiral earlier today, and she is on board with us digging a little deeper. So if we all take a little vacation, that's going to be fine.
Sounds good to me.
Harvey, don't worry. I've delegated all of your work to someone else. You're free. No excuses.
I'm also going to need you to help get the gift targ back up to snuff and in working order.
Oh,
Because
when were
that's
you?
what we're taking out.
Oh, when were you thinking of leaving?
Next 2-3 days.
Oh, well, I better get down there. Yeah, it should be okay in the next few days. It should be. I mean, we can fly her. Yeah. You said danger. What kind?
The unfriendly kind with pointy ears.
He thinks for a minute, going, that could be so many races. It could be so many. Oh, right. Okay.
Hey, listen, has there ever been a problem before?
I mean, no.
Is it going to be
It's
a
just
problem this time?
I mean, it's just I like to be prepared, so that I've got a general idea what we're up against, whether it's if someone's planning to shoot us, because that kind of raises
Well,
the
with any-
repairs to the shield slightly higher than I
With
would
any
have.
luck, we won't be shot at.
Right. What are we specifically doing? Yeah, do I want to know this, or should I just? Is ignorance bliss in this case?
Ignorance is probably bliss in this case.
I'll just be the engineer. That
Sounds
just,
good.
yeah. At least I
and
know.
we need you to fly it.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you need from me? And is it just going to be us three? Are we and no one else coming?
My friend will also be joining us.
What?
I think you'd like her. She's very nice.
Oh, good. Well, I look forward to meeting her. I better get down to the hangar and prep the ship. Yeah. I will see you in a few days.
All right.
Very, very tired.
Let me know if you need any help or parts.
Will do. And Harvey heads off to the ship ready. Or attempt to.
The ship should be all good for when you leave. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. So you're all good there on that front.
Well, I mean, it did take a little bit of a beating from being stuck between time and space.
Nothing a good buffering wouldn't solve, it's fine.
Yeah. I think we cut to a day later when you're all heading towards the gift targ, and obviously we can see up as well into the hangar bay that the USS London, just on the kind of on the docking ring, is having a little fresh coat of paint on the side of it. And approaching the gift targ, you see that tall, slender, blonde human woman waiting for you in front of the freighter. and as you approach her more closely, she gives you a little kind of like flick of the head, and she says, "Hi, I'm a Natalie, but N from now on is better."
Right.
Okay. Do we all just go by letters?
Go by what you like.
I'm
It's
Harvey.
Harvey and Burrell.
Just extends his hand to shake.
Yeah, she's a bit more awkward with you, but with Burrell, she kind of gives like a knowing, like, I know why you're here, you know why I'm here, we're kind of doing this thing. And once you step on board the Giftag, and once she's kind of had a look around and made a couple of snarky comments in tongue-in-cheek, she finally kind of sits down into one
I'll
of the
have
kind
you know
of...
that I paid way too much for this ship.
Oh, yeah, I know, I can tell. And she sits down at one of the kind of crew, like, side kind of console chairs, having spun around in it and looking at all of you. And she says, you are going to be selling false coordinates to more of these artifacts you've been finding to the Romulans. General Malar is en route to our rendezvous, and we're the civilian pioneers, you know, happy-go-lucky outbackers wanting to like explore the frontier and earn a profit, and we're going to sell them to her. You've got to convince her they're the real deal, and all the while trying to get a little bit of a read on how much she actually knows, how much they, as the Romulans operating here, know about these artifacts. It's one thing to try to bury all of this in Starfleet bureaucracy. It's another thing when another polity is very much involved in trying to put together these artifacts. And from what I've heard, all three of you have a pretty good idea of the kind of things that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said to Eka, it's kind of an open secret what's been happening around the sector and on the station with these things. So we need to get a good understanding of how much of a threat the Romulans pose if they have these artifacts and like have them working.
Can I have a look at the false coordinates that we've got?
Absolutely. And she hands you over a pad. I think that's how we'll do it.
Would I be able to just... I have a focus in counterintelligence.
Yeah.
I just want to sort of look over this data and see if there's any way that I can shore it up.
Oh, absolutely.
Make
yeah.
it a little bit more...
Yeah. So let's make this one of those kind of creating an advantage kind of roles. So it's going to be difficulty
Love
2 to kind of get a... to kind of shore them up and make them look just that little bit more legit. But I think even if you fail, you'll get an appreciation for kind of what they're like and like how much of a struggle this might be as a cell.
Sounds good. No, I'm not gonna...
I think it's gonna be reason and either like security or con.
I'd love... but reason's good. Would insight be as well? Just because I'm trying to like...
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I mean, either way,
use
it's
that.
the same. Either way, she's the same, but we'll give her a little roll.
Ooh.
So 2 successes.
Ooh.
So yeah, you've essentially managed to like create that advantage. So it's going to be an easier sell for you now because the coordinates they do, you know, they look that little bit more legitimate.
Okay. The data's good. But and then I think that just to be like that little bit extra, just Echo will be like, the coordinates actually aren't far off from a one of the obelisks that have already been found and claimed by Starfleet. So, and then I'll just like pitch the data just a little bit, just be like, well, it's not our fault that Starfleet got there first.
Yeah. That works, actually. And we can sell it as well that, Starfleet just weren't as thorough as they thought they were, and they've missed one. If it's as close, that works really nicely.
Alright.
So, I mean, you're probably... With whatever intel we get, I kind of understand how this game works. Regardless of what we get, this is what I can do for you. I don't know if you know this, but Ambassador Yang has a cousin, pretty well-known cousin, Krell, who is a famed composer of Klingon opera. And so Yang has invited him to come to the station. And her cousin has told her that he is coming to the station. And she will be very upset to hear that he has come under fire from some Orion pirates in a little sector of space that locals tend to call the Swamp. It's this kind of big gaseous anomaly. It's full of stellar... It's like a stellar nursery, full of young stars being born and stuff like that. Great for hiding. All the better as a plausible location for an ambush. So I'm pretty sure that the ambassador's gonna commission a little ship from the KDF and jump on over there to take a look. And hearing Orion pirates, hopefully we'll get a read on her contacts there and she'll have a go.
I like it.
So, once we've done this little job, we can warp to that little job and hopefully beat them to the rendezvous and intercept
Assuming?
any communications.
We better get a wriggle on then, Harvey.
Or a tight
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
hoping
but
that she can push past warp 2.
can she push past warp 2? What is her maximum warp?
I don't know. She can probably cruise to she can probably cruise at warp 4, right?
I like it. That's a
as
comfortable
freighter.
cruise.
It's a comfortable
Yeah.
cruise. But then
Yeah.
what's her power rating?
Oh god, where is the gift tag?
Oh, a 7. Okay, so max warp 7.
Oh,
That's my little house rule. One warp factor
Yeah.
per power spent. Up to
there's the
9,
gift.
obviously.
There she is. There's the beauty.
Yeah. So yeah, if your power's at 7, maximum 7, then you can spend all of it to hit a warp 7, and then enter the
I
scene
would
with
trust.
enter the scene with no power to spend on anything else.
I would not
Yeah.
trust the gift target 7. I'd be like holding on as
Just
old things come
yeah,
out.
the
bits
rivets.
flying off it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
chuck those breaches back to 0. There we go. It's all good in the head.
Yeah.
I sealed them. It's
You're all
fine.
good. You're fine. You're fine. She's
Bit of
had
duct
time.
tape is
tape.
She's had
okay.
2 weeks in the hangar bay. You're fine.
Gaffer tape WD-40.
Easy.
Spin tape.
Brand new.
You're good to go. All right. So I'll hang out here, monitor the whole situation. Think of me as your handler. Eka, I assume you'll be doing the negotiation.
That's what I'm good at.
Burrell, you might want to do something about the...
She's already getting a bandana out to cover up the forehead.
A classic.
Yeah,
It's
a
the war
classic.
vendetta.
Yeah.
It's a classic for a reason.
God. Yeah.
The little hat that he wears and the
In first
I
contact.
can't see her riches. She drops her bag on the floor, which ordinarily would be full of clothes and rations. It's full of weapons. I got that bit covered, just in case.
And I guess we'll get to hang out and get to know each other, Harvey.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay quiet in the background and just make sure that everything's working.
Great.
Harvey's kind of on the less he knows, the better train.
That's fair. All right. Where do you want to do this thing? Planet side? You want to do this on a ship somewhere? What do you want to do?
Are there any kind of is this player OF table, is this player prerogative? How do we want to set this scene kind of deal? could we do like some sort of lawless outpost
Yeah.
at a bar?
There's
where,
tumbleweed
like-
that goes.
Yeah.
Alien
Like,
tumbleweed.
I want like a bunch of like weird looking special effects creatures that
Yeah.
they've done like some mishmash on. I want like
Okay.
I want that one bar set that they always do.
Yeah. The woman playing the piano with like 4 hands.
Yeah, that's what I want.
There's a few Doctor Who aliens in the crowd as
Yeah.
well. You know, the
Yeah.
costumes.
They had
for it.
they had to pull in a couple of costumes from Pinewood.
Yeah.
All right, to tell you what, to find the perfect spot, roll me reason and security.
Love to.
And someone can assist if they want.
I have a focus in black market dealings.
Oh, that applies.
You know all the scum.
Okay.
I know the best
bars
scummy
and
places.
everything.
This
Yeah.
this can be difficulty 2 again. You can succeed at a cost, basically. So it's like if you don't succeed the roll, you'll still find a seedy place. I'll have a little complication that will maybe crop up in that like scene.
Okay.
Bar
I'll
fight.
assist with
Alright.
my security knowledge. I know where the scum hide.
Burrell looks for tries to remember reports that she's read through. Yeah.
I always thought that was just Burrell's holiday. Goes to the
Scummy
scum
bars.
eyes just to
She
start
just-
fights and stuff.
She's like the what's his name thingy Fury, like drivers dive-ins and
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fury. She's like the Guy Fury of the Shackleton Expanse. She's writing a book of like touring the seedy venues around the Shackleton Expanse. But between you've managed to find one of these places, probably somewhere Burrell has wanted to go on holiday, and somewhere that Ecker actually knows but doesn't know that well, based on those successes. But you have got it. You've got your seedy like bar location, and so we take the gift targ into the system, set down on the outpost. They're always on like an inhabitable moon, right? Like it's on
Yeah.
a little inhabitable moon, and we
There's
drop
like a
down
mining
into there.
operation nearby or something.
Yeah, there's a mining operation
It's
nearby.
always a mining operation.
And there's like steam
Always.
coming from places, and
Yeah.
there's like neon lights, and
It's-
you know,
There's like those weird like catwalks, the bar,
Yeah.
like that are all metal and industrial. It's like
Yeah,
someone's
yeah.
used an old power plant or something.
So they
for the filming
literally
location.
perfect, and they literally have this bar is on top of like an old redundant like mining operation from like an alien excavation, like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and now they're just using it as this like little kind of seedy outpost that's just a kind of stopover, like a layover place. And so there are alien species from all different planets and different sectors here in the Expanse, some of which that you just don't recognize. For the lols and the references for later, there is like a little otter people like walking around a little bit. Yeah, little otter people, but they've got they're on 4 legs, and then they've got like centaur bodies with a couple of arms, and they're just kind of like scooting along. But they're basically otters, right? Space otters. And they're kind of arguing with a guy that's like 3 times their height and is all kind of buff and is like telling them where to stick it, and they're trying to do some deal or something. I don't know.
Could we have parked like in a canyon nearby?
I mean, you can
just
be
we
in
brought the
orbit,
gift-
Tom. This is Star Trek. You can.
Yeah, I know, but it's very, you go down and it's kind of like
You
you
want to
hide
land
it.
this freighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you insane?
Yes.
You can land.
I
you
imagine that's
can-
a conversation in the cockpit. Burrell being like, "Are you insane?"
Well, it's just like,
Beam down.
it's just
Yeah.
to hide the ship. And then you could have, and then what I wanted is each of us to wear like a transport enhancer so we can get an emergency transport if things go south.
All right.
But then we transport to the ship that then has to take off and get into orbit before we
Ah.
can leave, rather than just
But
transport
they're
to the ship
thinking
already
we're
in
in
orbit.
orbit. They won't be looking for us on the ground.
Okay.
Natalie's just like,
I have.
I watched it on a show. It will
If-
work.
If we're trying to do
When-
something that's like an opportunity cost, I can get that for us as with my merchant talent.
Trust me, Burrell, trust me. I watched it on Ferenginar when I was there on one of their many, many TV shows. It worked.
I'd forgotten about Ferengi TV.
Yeah, I know.
Rail just rubs her ridges
That,
through
that
her
was
little
that was a
bandana.
good episode of
It's a very good
Lower Decks.
episode.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll all have transport enhancers so we can get out there like almost
Sure.
immediately.
Okay.
And are you staying in the ship or are you coming with?
Well, are you leaving the ship,
I mean,
pilot?
I can stay if you want. I wanted just to have a look, but I can stay.
Well, I'd imagine you'd be like ready for a hot dust off if we, need to break into orbit.
Oh, I mean, okay, fine. I can.
I can
stay
have
on the
a
ship.
standing by if you like.
No, if you want to go, that's fine. It's fine. No, I'll stay on the ship. It's okay.
Well, I'm staying on the ship, but I assumed you'd be staying on the ship. Do you want to stay on the ship?
I kind of wanted to see what this bar was like. I've never been to one before.
All right, I'll have her ready.
If I mean, Eka, unless you don't want me to.
Harvey, you can be anywhere you need to be.
So,
Okay.
based on your like mercantile thing, I was going to say you can add a success to what I'm going to ask Harvey to roll. I was going to ask Harvey to hide the ship.
Okay.
So once per adventure, you can waive the opportunity cost for up to 3 items of equipment being acquired by other player characters. You may even allow other player characters to obtain such items that would not normally be available, disruptors for Starfleet crew, or items that are restricted or illegal, though I add 1 threat for each such item provided.
Okay, friends. Do you want disruptors? Plasma rifles? Do you want a phaser rifle? Do you
There is
want
another reason why I want
grenades?
to go to this place as well. Come outside. And I want to see if I can find a cloaking device for the gift tag off the black market.
Okay, cool.
Cornelius Harvey.
All right.
The civilian ship. Nothing to do with Starfleet.
Okay. Literally, you have a veritable shopping list here that you could have got via Eka's contacts. We've got... I'm not going to let you have Gemini plasma weapons, but you can have
Fair
like
enough.
disruptors, particle rifle, you could have an Andorian plasma rifle, you could have pulse grenades, you could have phaser rifles. All of these things have an opportunity cost to them.
Can I have grenades, please, 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 please? I promise. I promise I will use them responsibly.
You don't want
Alright.
a personal shield or anything like that,
No.
you know?
You can
That's
have a
not
pulse grenade.
Klingon.
That's not
Eka
Klingon.
is going to have a personal shield.
You're going to
Yeah.
have some armor, so you can have resistance 1. No problem.
Appreciate that.
You can have a third thing. You said it was 3 things, right?
Up to 3 things. It's 1 point of threat for each thing that I acquire.
Yeah. So you're on 14 threat now. Oh, I
That's
started with
fine.
12,
Just-
by the way.
Yeah.
It's
that's fine.
a
Let's keep
two-parter,
going.
and it's pretty serious. We're figuring out the blood feud. There's stakes involved.
I was kind of thinking what kind of utility thing would be useful.
Sure.
I mean, a personal shield, for armor is pretty good. But if we could get something that's like, I don't know, that could help.
You have those little personalized pattern enhancers.
Oh, yeah,
That's
of
what you were
course.
talking
yeah,
about, right?
Yeah.
Lowest
yeah,
difficulty
course,
of transporters. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have that, yeah.
All right. You're on threat 15. That's your stuff. There you go.
Thank
Waiving,
you.
no problem. Waiving the opportunity cost involved in those things. Lovely. Okay. All right. Harvey, please hide the ship for me.
Sure. I'll just activate the cloaking device.
You didn't
What
get
would
the
you like me
cloaking
to roll?
device yet.
Not yet. Soon. Soon.
I'm watching you. I would like you to roll. Let's have a look.
Mhm.
control and con, please.
Control and con.
Yeah.
Could someone roll for the ship, the freighter, to assist?
For the freighter. Yes, absolutely.
I
With
sure can.
engines and con.
Okay.
And there's
Do
no
that.
difficulty here, but the difficulty you set is the difficulty it is to detect the gift targ.
Okay. Now,
No help from the Targ.
could I use my focus of helm operations
Yes,
to basically... Brilliant, thank you.
you are flying the ship.
Yeah.
Helm
no, it's fine.
Yes, helm operations.
What?
I mean,
Four successes.
you did want the pilot. I mean,
The gift targ
Susie.
is difficulty 4 to find. You fly it
Okay.
perfectly into a canyon that has it's like the rivers, obviously after millennia of erosion, has run underneath this rock bed above you. So you've managed to fly the ship into this thing and then transport towards the site transport near the bar itself. All right, so Burrell carries a massive bag of weapons. Eka carries some fake navigational data, and Harvey's on the lookout for a cloaking device.
Hell yeah.
You approach this bar. Points in chat for anyone who comes up with the bar's name. You approach this bar. It's all seediness and neon lights. There's a couple of Orions here. You're never too far away from the Syndicate in the Expanse. And there is even a Ferengi, probably under Damon Zarg's administration. But he is trying to cut property deals left, right, and center, and you can hear him doing his seedy little Ferengi thing. But finally, you enter the bar. Is there a way that you want to set this up? Side room, up on a balcony or something? Or just straight up, at a table in the bar with people around so that there's some weird social protection involved in, being looked at? What do you think?
I'm
I feel like
partial
this
to
gave us the drunken
balcony.
daemon, and I love that.
Drunken Demon it is.
Daemon.
Drunken
the
Daemon?
Ferengi?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god. So that's what the Ferengis bought the tavern. The Ferengis bought the seedy bar and has called it the Drunken Daemon.
I love it. I think we find a back. Okay, so it's got to be someplace where our back's not to. There's got to be a nearby exit, and our back's not to it. So if
Sure.
we need to do a quick getaway, and
And I believe
can't transport
Burrell
out.
said mandatory needs to be on the second floor, like a balcony. Mandatory.
oh, so that someone can get thrown over it. Gotcha.
Oh, always.
Always, yeah. It's
Okay.
not a CD bar if someone's not
Sure.
getting thrown off the
Yeah.
balcony.
Yeah, so
And
okay.
a window nearby, just in case.
Yeah. So you are on the second floor of this bar. The exit, so not too far out, is the balcony, and then there's probably stairs down. Burrell is on that balcony as kind of a lookout, but also if anything hits the fan, you're coming into the bar as well. You've got a position where your backs are not to it. You've set this up perfectly, and after a little while, the familiar face to some of you of what was her name? Shit. That was so good too. General. Oh, I didn't actually write her thing. No, I did do her thing. Why is that? Why is she there? General
with
Malar.
M. Malar. There we go.
Of General Malar of the Tal Shiar is escorted by a couple of centurions. And Burrell, you can see that there is a squad of Ulans, Romulan Ulans, below you in the street and just hanging out around outside the tavern. There is the Ferengi, the new proprietor of this establishment, begins to question some of the Ulans, and he gets effectively slapped away. But they are kind of on the lookout to a degree as well, a bit like you are. But you're just relaxed, cool, composed, ready to go at a moment's notice. But the general looks around, finally meets your eye. Actually, we need alien bar noises. I forgot. Right?
Hell
we
yeah.
were in the hangar bay, and I have alien bar noises. There you go. And finally, the general meets your eye, and she walks over, and she stands and remains stood in front of the chair that you presumed that she would sit in. Have you established like a cover name or a cover identity, or are you actually just going by Inor's identity?
I don't think that I'm going to be going by Inor in this case. I think that I'd be using, because I have worked with Starfleet Intelligence before, I think I'd be using one of the covers that they provided for me previously.
Okay.
And this is... let me think of a name real quick. This is Pell.
Nice. All right. Pal.
Pell.
Yeah. Another joined trill? Or kind of faking it? Faking the singleness?
I think we're faking being joined. We're being unjoined in this moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. All right.
Just because there's so few joined trill that it's pretty easy for someone like the Tal Shiar can just be like, oh, well, they're obviously lying.
Yeah. And Harvey, are you going by like just an alias? You don't need to have it immediately to mind, but...
Yeah, I'll go by a different alias.
Cool.
I don't know yet. I'll have to think of something, but I'll just any random name. Chat can name me.
All right.
They want.
Chat. You have the
Yep.
power. Stood in front of you, the general says to you just the word, Pell.
Kenna Pell, very nice to meet you.
And she just looks you up and down. And then slowly takes a seat.
I sort of reach out the hand, like very excitedly. Oh, put it back. Straight to business then. My crew and I have managed to acquire some information that you might find very interesting indeed. And I sort of slide a one of those non-Federation style pads across the table.
She has a look at the data. Looks through it. She hands it off to one of the Centurions. She says, verify that. And what was your price again?
This is something that, for 5 bars of gold pressed platinum, we'd be willing to part with the data. I think that Eka is going to give them a more reasonable, like a.
No, I like going
Yeah.
with 5, and actually what we'll do is we'll like roll for it
Okay.
to see how persuasive that is and to see whether it's kind of like reasonable, because she could literally go eat one of either two ways here, right? She could either be like, that's
Yeah, absolutely.
preposterous, or that's silly, or go, okay, actually I'll play that because that's a good price, and we'll continue. So yeah,
Sounds good.
roll me presence, and you can go command with this, or you go security if you want to, seeing as you're kind of doing that like fake deception-y kind of con here.
Presence and command, and I'm going to use my focus and persuasion if possible.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any momentum currently.
Not right now, no. So I think, so if you're you've made that data look decent as well. So I think her Centurion, having looking at it, like gives her a nod, and then hands it back to her. And so I think that's going to
lower. Contested roll?
No, I'm not gonna make it a contested roll. I'm gonna lower it down to difficulty 2, I think, ultimately.
Okay.
Because they obviously want this kind of information, as is the setup, really. So that's kind of obvious. The fact that you've shored up the data and made it look really legitimate as well, has it helped you as well?
All
So,
right.
I mean, so to guarantee this, you could spend your determination.
I think I want to save that for a little later on.
Sure,
but I would
yeah,
like to
sure thing.
give you a point of threat for an additional die if possible.
Yeah, of course.
We'll bump it up to 16.
Yep. Four successes.
That is 4 successes.
Absolutely, gives you 2 points of momentum. And so, with 5, you finally see her raise a little bit of a smile, just a tiny one. And she says, "We can work with 5."
It would be a great pleasure to do business with you then. And if we were to come across any more of this information in the future, it would be good to establish that kind of a business relationship.
And how exactly is it that you came by this information?
Oh,
This is awfully close to a Starfleet survey.
well, you know, Starfleet, they aren't necessarily the most thorough when it comes to these things, and sometimes they miss things.
All right. I'm going to give her an insight and command roll. And I'll give you the opportunity to contest it as well. Oh, okay, I forgot in the narration as well, just a little bit of a retcon. She has a single Riemann bodyguard with her as well.
Okay.
So they're the, I think, kind of canonically, like, you know, like more like thinner, like uglier looking.
They're kind of pale.
Kind of cousins, much paler. Yeah, and so she has a silent Riemann bodyguard with her, who is just literally just like a little shadow stood above her on her tail all times. And I'm going to spend some of that threat. I'm going to spend 3 of it for a couple more dice. So that'll be 13 threat. And so I'll establish my for a couple more dice. So I'll be rolling 4. This will establish a difficulty you've got to roll up to beat.
Sounds good.
I think I've selected all of that. Focused is used. Let's go. 2 successes.
Okay. Would my focus in counterintelligence apply?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or persuasion?
Yeah, counterintelligence is a good fit.
All right.
Because you're literally in person doing that counterintelligence right now.
All right. I'd like to spend my determination at this point, please.
Okay.
To make sure that this goes off. I'm going to use security isn't guaranteed. We need to protect our interests.
Very nice. Love it. So it's 2 automatic successes based on that. Any other dice you want to roll?
I'm going to save that momentum. I'm just going to build off of what I've got right now.
Cool. Yeah, no problem.
I'll just do the standard with focus. But cheesy Pete's, okay, that's 4 successes on top of it, so that's 6 total.
Wow. Okay, so you win and you get 4 more momentum, maxing you guys out at 6 right now.
This is what I'm built for.
You are all set. So she takes your excuses, And she says, excellent. Yes, if you do have any more information about these sites, we were, of course, very interested in them in an archaeological sense.
Oh, of course. We have, honestly, we would, if possible, I think that maybe a collaboration might be in order. Not to impose, of course.
What kind of collaboration?
Well, clearly, you've already found several of these sites yourselves. Clearly, this would be, as this information is valuable to you, finding ones that haven't already been found. Mostly, I'm just curious where we can avoid, honestly. Because if we were to stumble upon a site that you have already previously found, our ship is a little rustic. We wouldn't necessarily want to come under fire.
And why don't you roll me again?
I'd love to.
This is going to be difficulty 3, I think. This is now
Okay.
more of a stretch for her.
Yeah, this is me trying to do the ply for information portion of the.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to spend 3 points of that momentum for 2 additional die.
No problem.
And I focus of interplanetary trade negotiations. I got so many focuses here.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
It's a
Apologies, I'm
stretch.
doing a lot of rolling.
I tell you what,
I also have black market dealings.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell you, I give you interplanetary negotiations with a complication increase of 1. Because it's a stretch.
It is a stretch.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'll take the complication. But that's a boatload. That's 2, 4, 5.
It's the Echo show. 5
Sorry,
successes. It gives you 2 more points of momentum. You're back up to 5 momentum on that front.
Mm-hmm.
She says, very well. She leans over to her centurion, who assures you that you're going to get, he says, you will receive notification of our other findings, and then you will know of any redundancies.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
And he kind of looks a bit perturbed by the fact that he's doing that, but he like taps away on a little pad. They're all very distrusting of each other situation going on with the Romulans. With 5 momentum, I do want to highlight that you've got an opportunity here, of course, to obtain some more information from me, but also create any advantages you wanted to create with the Romulans off the back of this too. Obviously based on what you've done and the kind of scope
I
of
would
your
love to
skills.
create an advantage if possible.
Yeah.
I'd like to add the trait, Pell is trustworthy.
Yeah. Your fake little persona is
Yeah.
trustworthy to the Romulans.
To the
Or
Orions,
Malar at
to
least
the
maybe
Romulans.
thinks that she can she's got one up on you and manipulate you and stuff.
Exploitable, I think.
Exploitable for the Romulans, most definitely. Yeah. No, I like that. Cool.
We also need to find out what they know about the artifacts, whether or not they know what they are and what they can really do.
I mean, the obvious just question is how much do they know about the artifacts? Or
How
what do
much
they know about the artifacts?
Yeah. What do they know about the artifacts? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to ask that question.
Yeah. So you ask that, and she gives you. She's going to do this obviously in a more sly way than I am, but she essentially reading between the lines will tell you that she knows, and it's like her mission here in the Expanse to figure these things out, that she's taken it upon herself as a member of the Tal Shiar agent to do this, defining her own work essentially, to figure out how these can be used to shore up the defenses of the Romulan border here with the Expanse, and hopefully make some headway into expanding their territory into the Shackleton Expanse. In terms of what they know, it's about on par with Starfleet, if a little bit more ahead than you guys know. She essentially talks about how powerful a kind of tractor beam technology it is. And it comes in the form of a warning, basically. It's like, don't mess with it, your ship can be torn apart, stuff like this. This kind of stuff can move planets.
Wow, that's... Okay, noted. Don't mess with the artifacts, just bring the information straight to you.
And Burrell, from overhearing that conversation, really does speak to like weaponized mega tractor beams. Basically. So they've got, like, that's their angle, basically. And it feels just that tiny little step ahead of Starfleet at this point.
Oh, I will look forward to doing more business with you.
And are you? You're Latinum.
All right.
And she pops down a little bag of 5 bars of Latinum.
I'll stick it in like the little duffel that I've got on the side here. Well, it was lovely doing business with you. If you are staying around the environs a little bit, and I'm going to recommend a drink from the bar that they're known for.
Yeah, all right. And she nods and she heads downstairs. Depending on your way out, you will see her drinking that drink at the bar as you're on your way out.
And I think they're like, come along, Marv, let's go.
I follow.
All right. All right,
And then
Marv.
I think as soon as we're out, the facade drops.
Yeah. All right.
That went well.
Right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, what? Sorry.
It's early yet, Burrell.
So Marv, you're on the lookout for a cloaking device.
Hell yeah.
How do you want to approach this?
He's going to ask Eka. He's going to ask Eka, goes, and Eka, I was thinking that because your ship, the gift target, needs a little bit more, it needs something else. It's something a bit more special. And I think I might be able to, given the right equipment, might be able to apply a tractor, not a tractor beam, a cloaking device on it, depending on, the device. If a Klingon one would be a lot easier because I could get the parts a lot easier, and I already kind of I've worked on the odd Klingon ship here and there. I mean, they come in back and forth, and well, Klingons aren't known for their engineering skills, really. So I've been able to tinker with a few, but I was hoping that maybe, I mean, that's if you want the gift tag to have a cloaking device. I just thought it might be a good idea for yourself, and
Well, that would indeed be helpful. Might be a touch tricky as we are on a little bit of a time crunch.
well,
But
it doesn't need to be a working one. If you get me even a broken one, I can work on fixing it.
well, I mean, if you were gonna find it anywhere, seeing as this is the place that Eka picked out and would probably know, I'd sort of direct to a there's like probably a scrap yard.
Yeah.
That's got basically I'd be pointing to like the pick and pull of this.
Yeah.
Best bet might be over there at Terran's.
Aaron's. And how much do we have to spend? I'm
Well,
assuming they
I've
don't
got
just...
5 bars of gold pressed latinum.
Okay. I'm sure that'll be enough for a busted cloaking device, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll sort of throw the duffel over to Marv.
Right.
I'm gonna head back to the Targ, but if you and B want to head over there.
Okay. Are you coming, B?
Yep, I got you. I'm not gonna let you get stabbed trying to buy an illegal device.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Oh, and if you need a quick getaway, we'll pull you out.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Let's go to Terran's end. Over here. And he's going to walk in, and I imagine it's just mess, right? Is it one of those junk everywhere?
It's like going to a scrapyard, but it's like, bajillion meters high because they're all like it's a starship scrapyard.
Okay. Could I'm going to have a quick look around. I'm going to identify starships, right? Things that potentially would have a cloaking device, wouldn't have a cloaking device, to try and narrow it down. Because there's no point in asking the person, because the person probably doesn't even know what they've got, because it's just that. They basically just, I always envision they just buy in bulk. Like, this is a big ship, or this is a whole cargo full of junk, but you'll have it for a latinum. Or something like that.
Yeah. So
I'm going to see if I can identify a ship that could potentially have had cloaking, or even cloaking device. No.
All right. Cloaking devices really are that kind of military protected equipment.
Yeah.
Held close to hand by the Klingons and the Romulans.
Mm-hmm. However, we are in the Expanse, which has the washboard, which I always just envisioned that there would be wreckages of those types
absolutely.
Of shit.
Yeah.
And people would just swarm quickly, grab what they can, and maybe get out before. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
A cloaking device is incredibly useful.
Yeah.
And also for the Federation, incredibly dangerous to have.
Sorry, I'm not Federation here.
So searching for this proverbial needle in a haystack is going to be difficulty 5.
5? Okay, no problem. I can do this. I can do this, no problem.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
And I've got the assist of Burrell as well. She's got sharp eyes.
Do you?
Don't know. I hope.
Burrell.
Someone who's trying to become
Burrell.
a first officer, and you're like,
I haven't
hey.
told Burrell I'm going for a cloaking device. I'm just going.
Well, then she can't assist.
Ah, you're right. No, I'll tell Burrell. Yeah, I would. Harvey's not one for... I don't know. You tell Burrell that he's looking for a cloaking device for the gift tag.
Why? Are we taking the gift tag into battle?
You never know.
Are we doing reconnaissance of our enemy lines in the gift tag, the freighter ship that can't go above warp 5?
It's for Eka. She'll find a use for it.
Okay.
Hey.
Susie.
Mm-hmm.
For a point of determination,
Yes.
if you want it, I would invoke your value of part of the machine to put you in conflict with finding this cloaking device. That you will not assist Harvey in doing that.
Yeah. Look, Harvey, I will help you with the deal. I will stop you from getting murdered by doing a dodgy back alley deal, but I cannot help you with this item.
Oh.
This is one of your officers doing something very illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a cloaking device.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The
okay.
Federation outlaws them. We can't use them on our vehicles. Our ships.
We're not using them on one of our ships.
On a
It's civilian.
civilian ship tied to the station, tied to us. You can say, "Oh, wash your hands," and be like, "Oh, this is Eka's," but everyone knows you pilot it. You've worked on it. I've worked on it. Everyone knows we're friends with Eka.
I believe it's not just Starfleet vessels that can't have cloaking
not.
devices.
Yeah,
It's
Federation, full
Federation
stop.
vessels that can't have
And
cloaking
I'm pretty sure
devices.
civilian vessels
And
can't
this
have
is a
cloaking
Rigelian
devices.
freighter. It's a Federation freighter.
That's it all irrelevant in
Listen,
Harvey's thing. He just
Harvey.
wants to play with
Like, civilian or no, it's a Federation freighter.
It's gonna sound wild coming from me, but you have to remember the oaths you took. And what sets us apart as Starfleet, as the Federation, from everyone else in the galaxy. Like, I know the prospect of shiny tech is great. I know you want to rebuild one. I know you want to retrofit one to the gift tag.
Yeah.
But it goes against everything we stand for. If you want, at some point I'll take you to Kronos and we can go look at some. Or hell, we can just go look at some on the station. I'll have a word with some of my colleagues, see if we can get you in a Klingon vessel.
Always wanted to look at a Klingon starship factory, where they build them. A shipyard. Shipyard.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever seen shipyard and they're thinking behind it. Like, why? Why wings? We're in space. Why?
It's just-
I've never understood that. Well, I
better
like to
suited
get
for
into their
battle.
mind as to why.
I will get you a tall. Listen, the only reason why I'm not ordering you right now to turn your arms around and walk back to the shuttle is because we're not technically supposed to be here right now.
I mean, right, if you don't, I mean, you could just say you wouldn't want me to do it and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to,
That's what I'm saying, without ordering.
I mean, okay, I think Eka would be quite sad because I think they were really looking forward to it, but, okay. That's all right.
I appreciate Eka. I cannot overstate how much they have helped me and my family. I also would not trust them with a cloaking device.
Never really thought of it like that. I just thought Eka would like it.
Bigger picture. Marv.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. You're right. Maybe. I still want to make the roll to see if I've seen it.
No. Yeah. Difficulty
Very good.
5. Difficulty
I don't-
6 now that Burrell's
Yeah.
brought that in for you.
I mean, I don't think it's possible for me to do it without doing determination and buying thing, which I'm not going to do. But just out of thing, what would the attributes and discipline be? Engineering.
I love this.
Engineering.
You can't, it's like I can't do it, but just tell me what the role would be.
I mean, if I got,
It would be an
if I
engineering.
got
It would be an
two
engineering
twos
task.
again.
It would be an engineering task. It would depend on how you want to approach
Daring?
it.
Daring.
Yeah, daring.
Okay.
You better be
Nah, it
daring. If
wouldn't
you're
have
trying
been
to
that good. I
sneak
wouldn't
that
have seen
past
that.
Burrell, she'll break every single one of your fingers.
He's not going to. I was just curious if he would have found it. And he he'll okay, and then head out the scrapyard and transport towards the gift tag.
Okay. As your transport pattern enhancers that are under your kind of clothing are tagged and you are beamed. Oh, wait, I've got the beam. When you are beamed back aboard the gift tag, when you materialize, when your vision kind of fades into that just like one main kind of ops bridge area deck of the gift tag, Natalie is stood towards you and is just slow clapping. Just bravo. I don't
So,
think that could have actually
toss
gone
the
any
information.
better unless maybe you actually brought me General, the General.
Is that an option?
No, very much not. But
Oh.
it was just, we got all the information I needed.
And a little bit extra if as much as I would hate to do it again, we could if you need to. I've got a little bit of a cover built up.
Yeah, I like that. I like that about you. Okay, now let me help you. Harv, you're gonna need to get us into the swamp, and we're gonna need to hide this ship somehow. She says, having no idea you just had that conversation.
He pointedly turns his head to Burrell and looks.
She just sort of puts her head in her hands.
No. Look, we're in a stellar nursery. There's plenty of dust and radiation, and I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah.
We can lower the profile of the ship, cut any kind of extraneous systems we don't need. It'll be great. Just don't raise the shields unless you absolutely need to.
Okay. No problem. I will set course.
All right. Yeah, let's set up. For the sake of the kind of procedural game, I love these little roles where we set up like, okay, someone want to set the course? Does the
Mr. Pilotman.
Who's co-pilot?
Yeah, go on.
Well, who's co-piloting?
Oh, I'll co-pilot.
Lovely.
Burrell's got a pretty good con.
Let me show you the helm and navigation tasks again. Okay, so you're going to plot the course. So, Burrell, you're going to roll me some reason and con.
Okay.
That's going to be assisted, Anita, by the ship's computers and con. And this is going to be a difficulty of 3. If it's successful, then Helm, Harvey, you're going to reduce the difficulty of your roll by 1.
Okay.
So, difficulty of 3, Burrell. Is there any extra dice you want to buy? Do you want to spend that determination already?
Sure, I'll spend that determination. Just make sure we get there.
Yeah. Setting the course is not just getting there, I think, in this circumstance. It's finding the perfect spot. Getting in behind that little white dwarf or whatever the kind of new star is forming there, or maybe getting behind a little pulsar, and you've just got the right angle for you to get a good telemetry on what's going on in a sensor sweep, but for signals not being able to really actually find you very well, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Does the gift tag have a con of 0?
It does have a con of 0. Yeah.
Bloody hell, I need to work on that.
It's just a little freighter, Tom.
I know, I need to work more on it.
You can spend your milestone experience on your ships as well, remember?
Oh!
Yeah,
I mean,
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Once you've used your the same value a couple of times, you get a milestone experience point, really, don't you? So then you can spend it to increase little departments on the ship. We know what you're doing next, right?
Sod my character.
I might give you all. I might give you all a milestone after these 2 sessions. Actually, feels like a milestone thing, doesn't it?
They do.
All right.
That's 4 with my determination.
Gorgeous gives you a point of momentum. Now you're on 3. Lovely, jubbly. All right, Harvey.
Yeah.
Warp us to the system. So to pilot us into the perfect spot is just going to be difficulty 1.
Okay. And it's what, control and con or reason and con?
Let's have a little look. Maneuver. I didn't actually have that. Yes, I'm going to give you control. Yeah, control and con. And it's going to be assisted again, Anita, by the engines and con this time.
Yep. Okay. I got a 3.
How many points of power are you spending at going to warp? Oh, that's a 4th from the ship. So you get.
Actually, it says that the ship rolled a 1, so that would be 2 successes. For some reason, it didn't count as a crit.
Yeah. But actually, so every 1 is a critical success. So so you've got another one. You've maxed out your momentum anyway. You have to spend at least 1 momentum. Otherwise, you just not 66, 6. Otherwise, you just lose it.
I mean, can I use a momentum to use additional power?
Use it.
Yeah, why not? So you just kind of I don't know. You just.
I mean, I don't know what
that
else.
Warp
The
field
momentum.
dynamics. There's a bit of slipstream involved in subspace, like la la la, sci-fi noises. Yeah, exactly. And
the only other thing is spending
really
2 for an advantage. But sorry.
Yeah, I mean you could do that as well.
I mean,
Essentially makes you
An
more
advantage
difficult to
in
find.
what? An advantage? Oh yeah, that would be good actually. Yeah, we'll go with the advantage and like have us more difficult to find.
All right.
That would be good.
So you managed to find, I think, a very, very young star right by the coordinates that you need to keep an eye on. So you're kind of looking and listening with long-range sensors, but you are right by an incredibly young star that's still surrounded by a lot of dust. So there's a nebula all around you that's also just, you're sat basically in the kind of like solar system kind of region of this brand new young star, which gives you just the right cover in order so that you're not found, essentially, very easily at all. All right. And so you drop out of warp and you nestle yourself effectively in a high orbit around this star. And I think, you know, for like the drama of it, that typical Star Trek drama, you're like, the lights are going dark a little bit, some of the systems get powered down, so you're in a nice kind of like quiet state in terms of that. I want to find a nice little dramatic, waiting nervously music for us in the thing here. And so you wait in the swamp, this stellar nursery that supposedly the Klingon opera composer was lost in and was attacked in, all a complete fabrication. But lo and behold, on long-range sensors, you see a Vorcha class attack cruiser from the Klingon fleet. It's the more up-to-date, modern, kind of long-necked, couple of nacelles towards the back version of that old D7 cruiser with the kind of big bulbous head, but it's one of the much more kind of streamlined, up-to-date ones. So it is uncloaked and it is sat in the sector in the stellar nursery, in the middle essentially, just kind of waiting in position. Did you want to do any information gathering on it now, beforehand? Or did you want to wait and see what happens next? Natalie says, Vorcha class attack cruiser. On screen, she pulls up a visual of like long-range sensors, and it's essentially just sat there. She's like, I mean, I'm guessing that's the ambassador, but I don't know the various Klingon ships in the defense fleet right this second. She looks over at you, Burrell.
Mm-hmm. We need to be certain it is her.
I mean, every starship has a registry, you know, a transponder, right? You could kind of like potentially, I mean, Burrell, if you know where to look for on the ship, we could see if we could find what ship it is.
We can move from passive scans to an active sensor sweep. See if we can get that transponder. See if we can get an ID on her.
Is that gonna expose us?
I shouldn't think so. I've done a great job positioning us behind this pulsar, so yeah, we could try it.
All right, let's give it a go.
All right. So it's going to be a engineering task from you, Burrell. And it's going to be something like either control or it's going to be reason.
Let's go control.
To work on those.
Assist?
Yeah, absolutely. And the
I'd
gift
like to
tag
call
will
upon-
assist as well.
I'd like to call upon Tava, the physicist, who was one of my previous lives, so that I have... if you time out the sensor burst with the pulsar, it should be able to mask it. That's
Perfect.
That's me. That's
Yeah.
me trying to science it.
I love that. And yeah, Natalie's like, perfect, and she's like tapping away as well, helping you configure that. And so yeah, the ship is going to assist as well. So Tom, we can do the assist ship for the ship for me. So the ship is going to do a sensors, and it's going to do sensors and engineering, probably, actually, if it's to do with like the ship and stuff. getting information on that.
Only count that first one as just because I accidentally hit 4.
Okay, so just like one extra success from you, from you, Eka.
Yeah.
Nothing from the ship. Nothing from Burrell.
Nope. God damn.
Natalie turns to you and she says, "We can try again and we can push the sensors, but I cannot guarantee that they won't at least get a hint of our signature from here."
Mm-hmm. We don't want to spook them.
And this is you telling me that you can succeed at cost if you want. Or we can just cut into their transmission. But I don't know. I don't know for a fact who's here.
Yeah. Either way, a transmission, if we get recorded proof of that conversation, that's going to be good enough evidence for Starfleet, right?
Depends what they say.
Well, true, but if, hypothetically speaking, if it's incriminating this conversation.
Hypothetically. It's, I sort of look at Natalie. Trust but verify.
I'm getting another signature warping into the sector. They're on a straight rendezvous with the Klingon ship, and on long-range sensors on the visual on the screen in the main viewer you see an Orion Blackguard cruiser. It's similar in profile to the pleasure barges, just that little bit smaller, as the pleasure barges are pretty huge, but it's got that typical kind of like dome-like quality to the hull configuration, and it jumps into the sector. Natalie looks up her console. She says, "I mean, we can try another sensor sweep now, try and get a fix on that Blackguard, but it's up to you guys."
Thoughts, Echo?
Echo, because I've already tapped into Tava, I can't tap into Koshran, who used to know Elrul. So I wouldn't be able to know if that was one of her ships.
Yeah, it's a shame. It looks like a newer vessel.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna say we might as well just tap into the transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At the very least, we catch a Klingon conspiring with an Orion. I'd say we risk it for the biscuit.
All right. Okay, folks. You are going to need difficulty 2, control and engineering task to tap into the transmission. It's going to be assisted by the ship's communications and security. Who wants to roll? And how much do you want to commit to the roll?
I can roll, but I would like to use momentum to die.
Sure.
To buy.
Today's a good day to buy momentum.
Today's a good day to buy. What's the
How?
difficulty again? Sorry.
Difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Assisted by a ship and Echo, or just ship?
There's one person at the communication station, so one person can make this roll, and the ship will assist.
Oh, okay.
You got 4 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I haven't updated that on the overlay. There we go. That's perfect now.
No worries.
Would you two mind if I bought 2 dies worth just to really make sure we get this footage?
By all means.
Okay.
All right.
Spend those 3.
So you're going to spend 3. That's down to 1 momentum now. So you are rolling 4 d20.
Yeah.
And
Your
the gift tard
control
will
and
assist.
engineering. Yeah,
Control
and the gift
engineering?
targ is communications and security.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a can't look. I actually cannot believe it.
All about the gift targ.
What was the difficulty again?
2.
2.
Can the gift card spend momentum for an extra die or no?
Nope. It's an assist die, so it literally will only ever roll one.
Okay, I need to roll a 7 or under because we don't have any sensors.
Oh!
What's the result?
It's a 1.
3 successes in total. You have got 2 momentum in the pool. You patch into the transmission that's going on. Natalie feeds it through. She says, audio only. Ambassador, to what do I owe the summons?
You know very well what. Your Kuvat pirates have attacked a Klingon vessel with my cousin on board. You may not know, because your mother has a smooth forehead, but he is the most renowned Klingon opera composer this side of the Briar Patch. Should this attack have led to his death, I will hold you personally responsible.
Calm down, Yang. Your disruptors are showing. We needn't settle this like enemies. We're meant to be working together. I delivered you the coordinates to that Ekfel dilithium refinery, just like you asked, and I'm sure your victory has been lauded by the General and the Council. And I thank you for getting back Jagadish, too. And Seema extends her thanks, too, of course.
If I can smell your pheromones through the screen, you goita. Your tricks won't work on my warriors, I keep telling you. Talk as smoothly and as cowardly as you like. Just keep feeding us the navigational and gravimetric data, and soon you will soon have the entire expanse in the grip of your narcotics. And my warriors do appreciate the added trade they can exploit on a station, especially if it makes Starfleet look bad. Good. And I assure you I had nothing to do with this attack. And neither did the crews that fly under me. You lie as badly as you flirt, Orion. If I find it was any of your crew, it'll be them I'll hang out for the targs on the station, instead of Dr. Taliaferra, as was your suggestion.
Why don't you make a sweep of the Stellar Nursery to find out? I'd happily transmit the safe navigational data now. Natalie cuts the transmission.
Time to go.
I think we got what we're looking for, so I think we should go. Okay. How many power points of warp do you want to commit to jumping out of the sector?
I still want to keep us quite stealthily. You know the thing. So if I put more power to the engines, does that make it easier for them to detect us? Or
I'm gonna say yes for the sake of the circumstances of this. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
more power,
in that case,
faster jump, bigger boom.
Yeah, in that case, then I'm not. They still don't know we're here. He wants
so
to
you
keep.
Think?
Yeah, so we think. I'm gonna keep it quite low power. Just we're not in a rush. We're fine. Just kind of power up and then just go. And I can always add power to it if we think they're following us.
All right. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's make this let's begin to wrap up the last kind of big roll for the night. Let's make this, because I've never rolled with the Vortex class before, an opposed check. Oh, why isn't it doing that? It's not an NPC, it's an NPC vessel. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's not what that should be. Anyway, cool. So make me a daring plus con check.
Okay.
It can be assisted by the ship's engines and con. And I'm going to set the difficulty for... Actually, no, sorry. You're going to roll first. You're going to set the difficulty by which for them to try and find you.
Okay.
So you can commit as many like dice or spend determination as you like, but
Well,
you're gonna
I mean,
have
we
to
got
do this.
momentum.
You're gonna have to do this effectively upping the ante before I've then made a bid to see
Yeah,
how much
well,
I'm actually gonna invest in this.
I mean, I would like another dice at least because we got the momentum to spend. Use it. It's the end of the
Yeah,
set. You know,
yeah.
use it if we can.
Mhm.
In
Momentum
fact,
and threat's gonna carry over into the second part of this next
that's
session.
fine. So I'll get
Because
at
it's
least
one
another
adventure.
dice. So I'm rolling 3.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take one away from there.
Yeah,
You got any determination?
I do have my determination. I do. Does determination carry on over, or does that reset?
It does. Yeah. It
That's the
carries. It. So whatever you spend or get now will carry over into the next session.
I want to keep my determination.
Okay. There's no
I've just
problem.
got this feeling.
Yeah. So
that
roll.
she's coming for us next
I see
session.
it. Yeah, you see it in her eyes.
I see it.
You
can
can
see
also
them already.
give Samantha a point of threat and then get that third die with a
Yeah,
less
let's do
momentum.
that. Sure, why
You
not?
can split the difference.
All
Have
right.
another threat, Samantha.
Well, I will. I'll get 14 off of that.
We'll go 4. I'm rolling 4 now.
You are rolling 4 die. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, good.
Rock and roll. 5.
5 successes,
God,
and
shit,
we need the
Tom.
ship now as well. Engines and con. No additional successes from the ship. Just double check that though. Anita is always funny.
Oh, yeah.
The con is 0 either way, so it would have been a 7 or low. It's a 17.
Cool. All right. Cool. And so with 5 successes, I'm gonna spend 3 threat to roll 4 dice as well.
Don't taunt her, Tom.
And
Got an idea.
This is gonna be
I've got an
The
idea.
last time
Idea.
she did this, she Omega critted you.
Oh, God, she did, didn't she?
security. Yeah, don't. The Omega crit
No,
where
don't
they
crit,
coming
don't
back
crit.
in to ruin your days. Right, hang on a second. Starship rolls
You
1.
woke up in
Crew
time
roll is
rush, Tom.
4.
Jinx.
Can someone just check those results for me? Because
So there's a 6, a 9, a 9, a 6, and the first one was a 5.
Yeah, okay, so that is 5 successes.
Equal, isn't it?
It is
5v5.
equal. Yeah.
What does that
That
mean?
goes to the defender.
You don't know whether you've been detected
Ooh.
or not. But on long-range sensors, you detect the Vulture class cloaking, and then the Orion ship, the Blackguard, warps out, not on your trajectory, like further into the Expanse. Yeah. But did you all grab the transcript there for you?
Yes.
As well.
I see
All right.
it, yes.
Lovely. I had great fun writing that today. Cool. And so that is your transmission that you've acquired. That is your evidence that you've acquired.
Just got to get back to the station now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, getting back to the station and stuff. Obviously, we'll wrap up now. But I want to leave. What do you want to do in the kind of immediate term in terms of like, returning back to the station? And Natalie's still with you, obviously, until you get back to the station and she gets back into her uniform and back onto duty.
We need to make sure that we're not being followed. We need to cover our tracks as best we can.
Sure wish we had a cloak on this ship.
It's Harvey again.
You just get the Klingon like Gowron eyes.
Yeah. I know those eyes.
Yeah, Natalie's like, we don't need a cloaking device, and you know she gives you some little like course corrections and stuff, and like a funny little route which kind of makes it look like you're on a bit of a sojourn around some transport channels and stuff, transport links. And you can head back to the station.
When we get back, we'll get this. Get the hard copy of the evidence you got, Eka. I'll take it straight to the Admiral. And then
Uh,
General Cargan.
I was about to recommend General Cargan.
No. Well, I spoke to the Admiral. I promised to keep her in the loop on this. There's not much she can do, but it's nice to have an ally. And I should probably call my family.
I definitely see a trip to Kronos in your future.
Yeah.
Especially if this has to get brought before the High Council.
All right, we're dropping out. The station comes up on the main viewer. That Vulture-class vessel just docked on one of the rings there at the top of the station. Looks like the same profile. And yeah, Natalie confirms. Yep, that's the vessel. Looks like she beat us here.
I mean, she is fast. She's got a bigger engine, and she,
It's about the size of the engine, half.
He just goes through all the warp capabilities of that thing compared to that, and he's just talking technical jargon to her about it for about a couple of minutes.
She looks over at Eka and in a kind of like joking way. She's like, talking dirty. Ooh. She taps away at her console.
Careful. He's taken. Not by me.
Oh, shame.
I'm gonna dock now. And I think I'm gonna go to the holodeck for a bit. What?
Nothing. Burrell, like she's packed up, she's ready to go. She's like waiting for the doors to drop.
I'll make sure that there's a suite ready for you.
Bouncing on your heels. If you need me, you know where to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck, you two.
Thanks, Harvey.
Great. Well, she stands next to Burrell, and she says, well, I think I'm gonna go and I've got an appointment. I think a mission assignment to link up with the Lexington.
And Burrell just gives a nod.
And she like wanders down the gangway.
All right, Eka, do you want to come with?
I'm like the present.
All right.
Let's make sure that the Admiral knows we're coming in case we get intercepted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then Burrell like rips off the stupid hat thing. She's like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Still on the whole journey.
Yeah, I should probably get changed to something nicer.
Okay, rendezvous 10.
Sure.
Get cleaned up. All right.
We're heading to the Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All cleaned up.
After a quick change.
Quick sonic shower, get all that dust out.
Oh my god, my threat change. There we go.
I don't need it.
Don't need
I
any
still
of it.
smell like the drunken Daemon.
Oh god.
Ugh.
You'll never get that out.
Blech. Gotta burn these clothes.
Yeah. Did you want to have a quick chat to the Admiral now? Or I'm
Yeah.
happy either way to either wrap up or have a chat now.
Either way.
I was mostly just worried about GM fuckery at the end. For a
No,
cliffhanger.
actually, not yet. You know, we've got a whole second session, whole part 2 to sort all that out.
Love that for us.
Lovely little trip to Kronos. It is definitely in your future. But as you door chime, and as the doors swish open, both the Admiral and the General are in her office right now.
And Burrell's like stood to military attention. This is both of them.
Are you back in uniform, or is this like straight from civvies? Like,
She's got back into uniform, I think.
Mhm. And Eka, you're looking a bit more presentable, a bit more fashionable, a bit more business cash.
I'm not Pell anymore.
Yeah. And Harvey, have you just like dismissed yourself and just like I'm
Yeah,
off?
I've gone to the holodeck.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Don't get lost on another planet.
I don't get many days off, and these days off we're doing something else. So what little I have, I'm gonna have
Trying to
some laugh now.
negotiate your spot back, having like swapped it out with another like ensign or something, and you're just like, can you just please look? You can have my holodeck time from like next month. Just give me it now. All right. I want to come back to you and ask what Harvey's program is that he wants to do on the holodeck. But yeah, okay. So the two of you see both the general and the admiral talking, and then they both pause, both look round at you, and the admiral beckons you in.
I've got the little, like, the pad with the transcript. I've got, like, the data sticks. I've got it all, like, copies of, not just the originals. I know how these people work, copies of. Admiral, General. I'm not interrupting anything.
I feel like whatever you're interrupting is not quite as important as whatever you're holding in your hand there.
I got that evidence you asked for.
General, this is what I mentioned.
And I will, hand over the transcript. I think that's the most damning bit, like where she's like straight up talking about selling stuff.
Yeah. And so the general goes through those counts, essentially. Dealing in narcotics, working with the Orions to broker a deal for navigational data. I see it now, Admiral. No wonder the defense force is making such headway in the Expanse compared to Starfleet. He turns to you and he says, you, on your family's honor and the work that you have done here, you alone must present this to the Klingon High Council.
That's Susie, that's not Burrell.
I will sponsor you. She cannot hold a position here any longer, but that is not under my jurisdiction. It is under the order of the High Council. And the Admiral says to you, it looks like I'll have to do without my second officer for a little while.
Apologies, Admiral.
That's quite all right.
And I think Ekka's, Admiral, I think you also need to see one of the last portions of that transcript.
And she takes a look again and very specifically looks over the part where it mentions Dr. Talia Farah, who we'll remember is the kind of like lead scientist, head of science, is effectively here on the station and has been the one that's been helping you like work out the artifacts, triangulate those artifacts and stuff like that. And she holds her hair, like her bridge of her nose, and she says, so she's using again. Okay. Thank you for bringing that attention to my attention. I'll have to figure that one out. Maybe talk to the Federation Science Council on that front. Okay, thank you. I'll do what I can.
It also poses a security risk.
It does. I'll have to double down on the security. General, we'll have to double down on the raids in the lower decks, I'm afraid. At least we have a better lead on where this narcotics trade is taking place.
I'd like an apology from station security.
I can only apologize, personally as well, for what's happened. I'll get that statement to you.
Appreciate it. That was like the little bit of petty that Ekka has.
So the general turns to you and he just says, to Kronos then.
Kronos.
Alright, that's where we'll wrap up part 1 of how deep the rabbit hole goes. Now you know, chums.
Pretty
You
deep.
know the whole conspiracy.
Pretty deep.
Pretty deep.
She's gotta go. She's gotta go.
Just gotta go. And if we can confront Elarul as well, all the
Oh.
better.
So much
All
the
the
better.
better. But that's it from us for this session. We'll be back in a couple of weeks for part 2. As I'm away next week, unfortunately. But we do have a couple of winners, I like to assume, for the Roll20 modules. So well done to you if you managed to grab yourself a copy. I'm just going to check my messages to see if we know those winners. I don't have notifications, but well done to you if you won. Or if we're pulling another name. I'm not sure if we are. But if you did see your name pop up as a winner, please get in touch with Stiletto Assassin in chat. That is our community manager, April. She'll be able to give you the Roll20 code that you are looking for that. Otherwise, let's say our bye-byes and also, obviously, like, say what you're up to as well around the internet, around my space. Anita, as ever, come to you first. Thank you very much for all the fun today. What are you up to?
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Anita. You can find me everywhere at Anita or at Critical Misses. I run the Critical Misses Twitch channel. And tonight we actually have a brand new show starting. It is a World of Wildevere campaign that's called Side Questers, and it's a bunch of low-level characters on an adventure for their boss. It's going to be a fun time. I would recommend checking that out. And then on Saturdays, we have Morning Ritual, which is a TTRPG talk show. And our guest this week is That's Barnaby. Barnaby is a fantastic streamer, and we're very excited to talk with them.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Tom, thank you for all your amazing flying skills tonight, as ever.
That's fine. That's fine. I actually want to hopefully at one point add a new value because I need another one. And a value of maybe should have been a pilot or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or I've always got pilot as a backup or something like that. But yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed playing Harvey in situations where you just wouldn't expect him to be, and explore his side before he joined Starfleet, because he was traveling around a lot on the freighters, and sometimes you don't, stay on the side of the law in that kind of thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good, and it was a Western.
Oh yeah.
Myself, I'm Hotflakes Tom. I am on the internet. I have slowly started streaming again, so you can check me out on Twitch, Hotflakes Tom. I've been doing Alan Wake 2, I think so far is the one that I'm currently doing, which is a good game. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow, but on Thursday I'll be on Follow Black Cats for the start of our Dragon Heist campaign with the lovely Samantha and Susanna right there. And I think that's it until probably maybe Monday for a Phasmo stream, depending on Susie and Millie and everyone else.
Situation. Yeah.
But that's about it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Susanna.
I want to know what that energy was about.
Using a government name there.
Government name. Yeah. Damn, Tom. He's salty because I didn't let him buy a
cloaking device.
You can tell the universe is really wrong at the minute because in the campaign, I was the one cautioning against not doing something illegal.
I call that character growth.
I can do it.
You can. I always knew you could. It's not just stabbing.
Not just stabbing. I do other things. But I'm not doing those things at the minute because, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I have a very bad back at the minute. So sitting in this chair is a unique kind of torture, which I willingly suffered to be here and play Star Trek with my friends. So I not streaming tomorrow because I'm playing an off stream game. Thursday, I will be here. No, I'll be on Black Hats for D&D. We're again playing against type. I'm not going to stab a single person in that campaign, just you look. And then probably not streaming on Friday either. But if you want to keep up to date with what I'm up to, you can follow me on Twitter or any of my socials where I'm at Susanna Grace all over the internet.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And yeah, as ever, as for me, you can find me around the internet at RPGWebby, and you can find us around the internet at Modiphius. Modiphius.net or .us for all of your web store goodness. We are going to have a Black Friday sale coming up, and I'm not going to be around next Tuesday to tell you all about it. But next Wednesday, we should be dropping all the details of all of those offers that you will be able to grab. And believe me, friends, I've been planning it, so I know how good those discounts are looking right now. You do not want to miss out. And if you are, if you do want to then, I'm speaking mainly to the live people, but then I'll say hello to the people on YouTube. If you're wanting to catch up on these episodes now, or any of our actual play episodes, we're now uploading those to a new channel, Modiphius Live, which is a dedicated channel to our actual plays and our how-to videos of our role-playing games, particularly. But so the streams that we've got going on, like the Fallout Winter of Atoms stream, this stream, and the Dreams and Machines stream as well, that Danny is putting together on Wednesdays, they're all going to be uploaded now to Modiphius Live. So check out those playlists, and all of our shenanigans will be archived there from now on. Hello if you're watching on Modiphius Live. Welcome. That's it from us, I think. And yeah, we'll be back live tomorrow with some more Dreams and Machines run by the wonderful Danny. And he is doing a really cool job of showing the people there around New Musgrove and weaving a little tale for them on Avira Prime. Oh yeah, it's very, very cool. So yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks for the conclusion, as Star Trek likes to put it, of this kind of two-parter episode. And we'll see you then, and hopefully Ambassador Yang will be off the station, but we'll see what the dice say. And we'll see you then for that. Take care, folks. Until then, live long and prosper. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.